Okay, so this is problem 2-12 in the book. It states that a student throws a water balloon vertically downward from the top of a building. The balloon leaves the thrower's hand with a speed of 6.00 meters per second. Air resistance may be ignored, so the water balloon is free to fall after it leaves the thrower's hand. Alright, what is the speed after falling for 2.00 seconds? And letter B, how far does it fall? Letter C, what is the magnitude of its velocity after falling by 10 meters? So let me draw a sketch of the problem on the right side. So I'll draw the sketch. So you have a building. For example, this is the building. Okay, it's floors. Okay, and building in a shadow. May look like a cliff, really. But kung naka-building na, then naka-nadiri mong tao. Okay, I don't know. So na siya good sa primero. And he gives this balloon, water balloon. Kung nakailan mo water balloon, kuha na siya. Balloon na yung tubig, ngano ihulog ni man na siya. Kaya pag abot na sa ubos, usog ka na siya magbutor, makakulba na siya. For example, naitaw na sa kuhan, maybe this student wants to maybe surprise niya itong kalakaw diyan hulugan niya water balloon. Balloon filled with water, but that's dangerous really kay dako nag-impact force paabot sa ubos. So don't do that. Students, please don't do that at school. Okay, so we have balloon, okay? And he gives this as initial speed. Iyang gituklod pa ubos or iyang gibuno pa ubos with an initial speed, so we call that VO, downward, okay? Iyang gibuno pa ubos, no? Downward with this speed VO equal to 6.00 meters per second, okay? Now, the question is, how far does it fall in 2 seconds? So, di ba mo, kaning balloon, it will fall down, no? Magkakusog siya kay because of gravity, we know that. Taman yung abot siya sa abot. Okay? Now, in 2 seconds time, so di pangutanan niya for 2.00 seconds time, aha naman imong balloon. Okay? What is the speed first? Okay? Ilan sa naman nakusgon imong balloon? For example, ang balloon sa mga kanadaan niya, okay? Nagkadako kay para kuan day ato makita. So V, ang ipangita dire is what is the velocity of the balloon. Okay? So in that case, after falling for 2 seconds. So how do you solve that? Well, as I have already explained in the previous problem, I only memorized for constant acceleration is sila nga problem, no? Okay, free falling, when you say free falling, the only force na ga-act sa imong object is gravity, and that will cause the object, ang object nga gibira sa gravity, mo-accelerate na siya with acceleration, a downward acceleration of magnitude na yung acceleration downward of magnitude 9.8 meters per second squared. So, or G ang tawagan sa uban. So, I memorized only these 3 equations, right? First is V final is equal to V initial plus acceleration times time. Second will be D is equal to distance traveled or displacement is equal to velocity initial times time plus 1/2 a t squared. Then next will be 2 times acceleration times d is equal to velocity final squared minus velocity initial squared. So in this case, for problem A, what is the speed after falling for 2 seconds? So speed lang na ang ipangita sa kapaspas. Then I may be using this first equation. Okay? To solve for letter A means y. So letter A, looking for speed. Okay? So I'll use V final is equal to V initial plus 1/2 a t. Now, V, kung atong ikuan nga ang downward is positive, atong i-assume na kung mingon taog downward, mo na to ang positive. Okay? daghan mo gud possible ways in doing this. Kung itong i-assume nga ang downward kay positive, VO is positive, 6. Okay? So, V final will be equal to VO is 6.00. Positive siya kay gi-assume ta nga ang downward positive. Plus 1/2. What is acceleration? Kung gravity lang ang gabiran niya, meaning gibira lang siya sa gravity. Ang acceleration na ana will be 9.8 meters per second squared, and it's always downward. Okay? Gibira siya sa Earth. Ang imong balloon gibira sa Earth by 9.8 meters per second squared downward. Kaya ga-assume ta nga ang downward positive po datong ibutang diri karon nga A, 9.8. So, ang uban 9.81. So, depende na sa inyong mga gigamit. But, more or less, 9.8 is okay. Meters per second squared. Times time. How long? The time is 2 seconds. So, 2.00 seconds. So, therefore, kung kanin siya, A will lead to 9.8 plus 6, that's 15.8. Tama. 15.8 meters per second. Okay? And pababa, gihapon na siya. Faster. Meaning. But, speed naman ang ipangayo. Not necessary. Tapos gun lang. Dili siya nag-sorry kung asa paingon. So, don't need to specify kung downward ba siya or upward. Now, kung lahi po din mong way, what if you assume upward to be positive? If you do that, ingon ani. Okay, because pang in-note there, no? Assuming downward, assume, or nag-assume ta, assuming, downward is positive. Kung lahi imong gibuhat, you assume that upward is, assuming upward is positive, kung sa dayang mahitabo sa imong solusyon. Wala rin mahitabo nga, no? Kung as long as consistent ka sa imong assumption. So, V final will still be VO plus 1/2 AT. But in this case, since imong VO kay pababa man na, kay mo nang gibuno pababa, so it will be negative 6.00 meters per second. Why negative? Kay pababa man na yung velocity. Then we also have here 1/2. And this one, 9.8 is pababa man ni siya. Unya, imong gi-assume na ito nga upward is positive. So we'll have negative 9.8 meters per second squared. And then we'll have 2 seconds. And still, we'll be getting a number VF equal to negative 15.8. What do you mean by the negative sign? It simply means nga pababa ang imuhang velocity, pababa. And since ang gipangutana sa letter A is just the speed, therefore you report the speed to be a positive 15.8. Okay, ang speed, ang negative diha, gamin lang na siya nga pababa. Okay? So, mo 15.8 gihapon ang answer, no matter unsang imong convention ng gigamit. So, that's letter A. Now, letter B. How far does it fall in 2 seconds? So, unsa kalayo? Then, we're referring there to distance. Okay? Distance. So, the best equation to use, so dapat, ima nang gisulat daan para mabilit na lang dayon ka. Well, kung kanin mong gamiton, distance mong gipangita, kapalo ka sa VO. What's VO? That's 6. Okay now? Here, we are assuming positive downward. Muna yung pinakadali, basta falling kayo. Paubos man permi halos ang imong mga terms, kaya better if you assume positive downward para puros positive yung mga terms. VO, it's 6. We know A. You know A. A is 9.8 meters per second squared and it's downward, so positive 1. T is 2 seconds gapon. So, letter B can be solved by just directly substituting this in this equation. Okay? So for letter B, let's try to do letter B. D, or how far, will simply become VO. What's VO? 6.00. And what's the time? 2 seconds plus 1/2 of 9.8 times 2 seconds squared. And therefore, the ball, or the balloon will travel a distance of 6 times 2 plus 9.8 times distance of 31.6 meters. So, kanina siya nga distance is 31.6 meters na siya kung nakatravel na siya by 2 seconds. Okay? So, kana dahil siya nga distance will be, ikan diha paingon diha will be 31.6 meters. That's the answer for letter B. We have traveled 31.6 meters within 2 seconds. Letter C, what is the magnitude of its velocity after falling 10 meters? So, letter C is ipangtanan niya, pila man ang velocity sa imong balloon kung nahulo, kung nakatravel siya o, example, 10 meters, ikan sa iyang point nga gidrop nimo siya. So, pila man ang imong V at that moment. So, simply use equation 3. Ano man? Na kay A is constant, 9.8. D is given to be 10. Na kay velocity initial, makuha nimo dire kan pilang imuhang velocity final. Okay? So, letter C, to solve for letter C, we just use that equation. So, 2, what is A? So, 2, ato lang sulat. 2A times D is equal to velocity final squared minus velocity initial squared. So, 2 times, what is A? A is 9.8. What is D? It's 10. Velocity final, that's what you don't know. That's what you're calculating. Velocity initial is 6 squared. And therefore, you'll be getting velocity final. No, manipulate lang nila ng equation. You'll be getting a value of 2 times 9.8 times 10 plus 36. Take the square root of that. And the answer must be 15.20. So, 15.2 lang yung ibutang kay 3 significant figures ang given. 15.2 meters per second. So, it's the answer for letter C, answer for letter A, answer for letter B. So, nangunana lang ba? So, take note nga, ang gamit nyo guys dire if you know this equation for constant acceleration. And you know also what is A. Kung free fall lang, A, or due to gravity, the acceleration of every object will be A. 9.8 meters per second squared, and it's always downward. So, kung mag-assume ka nga, imong positive direction is downward, that will imply na imuhang A positive. Mag-assume ka nga, imong positive direction is upward, then those downward terms, like the A, will have value of negative 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay?